We want to welcome our businesses joining this morning for our Orem Business Alliance webinar. We have with us Zemi Wellness, and they're going to be presenting today on employee wellness in the workplace. First of all, I want to introduce Garr Judd. He's the president of Zemi Wellness, and David Rogers, and he's the executive vice president of development at Zemi Wellness. I want to tell you a little bit about Garr first. Garr was born and raised in Las Vegas, and he moved to Utah to attend BYU. He married a local girl. That's always good. He earned a degree in business management, and he has 3 wonderful children. And Garr came to Zemi Wellness after spending the last 20 years as a successful business builder, owner, nonprofit director, and an entrepreneur. And for several years, Garr led the corporate wellness program at Gold's Gym and then at Vasa Fitness. And he worked with a great group of professionals, and he gained that firsthand knowledge of the keys in implementing engaging and thriving workplace wellness efforts. And any spare time Garr has, it's spent giving back to the community. He serves on several boards and committees for various organizations, including the Boys and Girls Club at Utah Valley University. He serves in Scouting, Orem City, Utah Valley Management Society, Intermountain Healthcare, and Brigham Young University. And we want to welcome Garr. And also David Rogers is an experienced business and executive and a lifelong fitness fanatic. So Mr. Rogers has a degree in business from Farley Dickinson University and a master's in organizational behavior from BYU. And he's run several businesses in a variety of industries, including consulting, corporate real estate, banking, and finance. And he's taught entrepreneurship and business as an adjunct professor at several universities. And Mr. Rogers worked as a professional trainer in college and published a primer on the subject of fitness called 12 Principles of Personal Fitness. And he's published several other books and articles. His primary interest is to create a culture of excellence and organization using a complete philosophy of wellness as a primary motivational tool. And we want to turn the time now over to Garr and Judd for our presentation on employee wellness in the workplace.
Thank you. Thank you. We're excited to be a part of the Orem Business Alliance this morning and presenting on a topic that we feel very passionate about, on keeping your employees healthy, happy, and engaged. As we go through the presentation this morning, keep in mind the frequently quoted phrase, your organization is only as healthy as your employees. We are excited to have our business here in Utah. We're in Orem. We office out of the Business Resource Center on the campus of UVU. And we're honored to be a part of the business community here in Orem. I'd like to share a short little video with you that addresses many of the issues that each one of us are experiencing as we run our businesses today. I apologize in advance, this is a promo video, but I think we can all relate to the situations that it portrays.
Thank you. I'm David Rogers, and just for a moment, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the issues that have arisen in this kind of post-COVID business environment that we now have. The old Irish saying, "May you always live in interesting times," is a little truer today than it may have been in the past. With COVID, we see several new challenges in the workplace. One of the major ones is this uncertainty, these levels of uncertainty that have been introduced into our business systems. We're not really sure sometimes of product, of delivery. We're not quite sure of exactly how we're going to structure our offices, how we're going to perpetuate our organizational culture. Working together in the past was always a given. Working together in the future is still a bit of a work in progress. And of course, as we know, economically and financially, uncertainty in systems is never a positive thing. One of the problems with uncertainty is a lack of productivity, and this can come from many areas. This can come from confused employees. It can be caused by disruption to our business systems and a number of other related issues. And of course, with decreased productivity comes decreased revenues. We are now entering an era of employees working at home. Now, for some businesses, this has always been the standard, but for most businesses that are having transition to this model, this is not the standard. And so what exactly does that mean for us all, and how do we deal with it? Working at home brings its own unique problems. My wife's a school teacher, and we have a number of schools or a number of children that are remaining at home and not going to school. That's certainly a distraction. There are other distractions in the household. My wife was trying to do a webinar the other day, and the cat walked across her keyboard and tuned her right out of the meeting. Don't think we'll see that happening in the office very often. There's burnout, there's isolation, loneliness, disconnectivity, and one of the unfortunate things we always see is stress eating and other unhealthy habits that may emanate from some of these psychological stresses that come upon employees. And Garr's going to talk a little bit after this about some of the solutions. But right now, we have a lot of consequences that all business leaders are dealing with. These consequences include reduced productivity, inferior work quality, missed deadlines, morale is an issue, feelings of community and connectedness to the business are issues at this point, as are the increased costs that may be associated with some of this fallout. There have been increased sick days. We see a lot of psychological and emotional distress. These are all accentuated and somewhat exaggerated by the current situation. All of this, of course, leads to negative consequences for employees, for management, and for companies in general.
Let's talk about some solutions. And for you do-it-yourselfers, we'll start off with some that are very simple and easy to implement. One of the first things that you may want to consider is during these times, over-communicating is not a bad thing. Check in with your individuals as well as your teams on a regular basis. Individual check-in allows the employees to communicate with their superiors to get support and address issues before they become major crises. Team check-ins help to reinforce the feeling of community and builds camaraderie. Trust employees. It is important to trust your employees. It is also important to have clear goals and expectations. Again, over-communication is the key. Don't leave employees to guess what your goals and expectations might be. They were hired for their skills and expertise. Train them and allow them to thrive. Set up a system where they can report their progress and seek guidance when needed. Micromanagement adds to their stress, kills morale, and causes employees to look for opportunities outside of your organization. Encourage breaks. Taking a break boosts performance. Get up, move, stretch, drink water, stay hydrated. Everybody stretch with me right now. Does that feel good? These help to keep the blood flowing to the brain and maintain focus and energy. Studies have shown that many of us begin to lose focus after about 50 minutes. Taking short breaks allows us to come back refreshed and sharp. Flexibility with hours and work schedules. With so much of the current situation disrupting normal routines, employees are anxious to find ways to gain control of their lives. Allowing employees to manage their own work schedules when possible gives them more ownership on how and when they accomplish their jobs. It also allows them to take care of those essential things in their personal lives. Encourage socialization. Company culture has been one of the key components of successful businesses that has been hard hit by the pandemic. Feelings of isolationism compound the stress and anxiety that employees are feeling. Look for ways to encourage employees to get to know each other and to interact. Let employees create a get to know me video that is circulated within the company. Host online or in-person socials and functions. Create contests and fun games that promote collaboration and builds culture within your work community. Promote healthy living and well-being. Well-being encompasses many aspects of your employee's life, not only physical, but social, financial, spiritual, and mental. Mental health and stress management starts with physical wellness and good nutrition. Help your employees combat the COVID or quarantine 15. That is the gaining of 15 pounds due to stress, lack of exercise, and poor eating habits. Let your employees know that you care about them by encouraging and providing tools to help with healthy eating, exercise, stress management, and life balance. Now let's touch briefly on some of those areas that you can incorporate that require a little bit of investment into your employees. One example is to upgrade remote working applications. Provide the tools and the resources that your employees need to allow them to perform their jobs at the highest and most efficient level possible. This will help eliminate the stress, especially of those that are working at home. Off-site socials. Build relationships. These help build relationships and increase morale by having off-site social events and team building activities. Perks. Gym memberships and healthy snacks and meals are perks employees really enjoy and reinforces the culture of health. Encourage participation. Incentives help encourage participation and reward success through the use of incentives. Some suggestions would be gift cards, custom designed shoes, flex time. These have all proven to be incentives that employees really appreciate and rally around. And then lastly, look for a third-party provider that can help provide the employee wellness program that you would like to have within your company. That's kind of a real brief and quick and simple overview of some of the tools that are available to you as business owners in helping your employees feel healthy, happy, and more engaged.
Yeah. Yes, connectivity and connectivity based on the proper principles is the shortest and most efficient path to maintaining employee productivity and inclusiveness in the business.
Absolutely. If I may, just as we wrap up, before we go to questions, take a moment and tell you a little bit about us at Zemi Wellness. Zemi Wellness is an HR wellness company that keeps employees motivated, engaged, healthy, and productive while working from home or in the workplace. We achieve this by using the most effective and proven tools, such as personal coaching, biometric screenings, company-wide challenges, personal health assessments, and engaging technology portal and apps. We also have fitness and plans and nutritional guidance. We are experts on company culture. We host seminars and workshops and have a lot of tools that help with stress management. So that is a little bit about us. Are there any questions? We'd love to answer any. And also we have a giveaway for those of you that submit an engaging question here or later on our website. We have this book, one of David's books, that we'll be giving away.
Yep, best question gets a book personally delivered.
So we have a question in the chat from Keith Blanc. He asks, has the EEOC recently said cash prizes such as gift cards would not be allowed for voluntary wellness programs?
That is correct. For voluntary wellness programs, the cash cards would not be allowed. That's a great question. Thank you for clarifying that.
So what are some other options for them?
Other options, flex time has been very popular.
Awesome. We'll give people a second to type in some more questions.
Yeah, good question.
I've got a general question about wellness. Like what, from a business owner's standpoint, what is like the return on investment for investing in wellness, and like why should they care about this?
Great question. We found that there are basically two, maybe three reasons that companies really embrace wellness programs. First and most importantly is they really care about their employees and are concerned about their well-being. Another issue that employees look at is what is the ROI on implementing a wellness program, and how will that impact the costs that I'm spending on health insurance and medical costs. Studies have shown that over a period of time, companies can, for every dollar invested in a wellness program, companies see a $3 to $6 return on that investment.
If a company provides group health benefits for their employees, using an effective bona fide wellness program will probably have actually reduced those healthcare costs by 10 to 15% over the last 5 years versus the standard increase in benefit costs that most companies have seen between 45 and even 80 to 100%, depending on how the benefit plan is rated and so on. So when benefits are provided, there's a direct ROI. That is the financial ROI. The human ROI, or the non-financial ROI, again, goes back to perpetuating company culture, creating healthy lifestyle changes for employees, making employees more productive, less absenteeism. All those also hit the bottom line, just not in the direct numbers that the healthcare costs might.
Thank you. Great question. Are there others?
Yes, we have another question from Keith Blanc. He asks, what builds or increases motivation for wellness programs?
Great question. And that's kind of a two-pronged approach that we've experienced anyway. One, initially, to get your employees engaged, there needs to be a very robust app that they can...
Right. A technology piece that employees can access.
And then another key piece is incentives that is supplied by the employer. And then the third key that's, in my mind, is very important is having a wellness coach that interacts with your employee on a regular basis. That wellness coach identifies what the goals are of your employees, works in providing personalized fitness, nutrition plans for them, and then provides that regular accountability. And as we all know, it's that accountability that really helps with the engagement and behavior change.
Right. So yeah, to summarize that, we can summarize it as a three-pronged approach. We need a good technology piece that ties a group together. Number two, we need participation and management buy-in and support of the program. And then number three is the accountability, one-on-one interaction that actually drives behavioral change. Also a good question.
Yes.
I think Keith's working his way into a book here.
Kathy, you're still muted. I see you trying to talk.
Unmute. So I have a question. How do you find that good balance when allowing flexible flex time with employees on their work hours? How do you find that good balance between trusting and micromanaging to make sure that the time is productive for employees working from home?
Yeah, that's a great question. And a lot of that depends on what the job is and what the company culture is. There's no blanket answer to that question because, again, it depends on the activity, what the result of, the results that you're looking for. The best answer I can give you is that it is a balancing act, depending on what is expected. If I was to just overgeneralize, I would basically state that it requires consistent and periodic communication of tasks and expectations, and then and then finding the right balance of timely accountability. And again, that can vary very widely depending on what your company does, what the employee's job is, and what the expected results are.
Thank you.
Other questions?
We've got another one in the chat from Marie, and she asks, what tips do you have for a small company where the HR manager is also the controller and office manager?
Is that you, Marie? If so, I feel so badly for you.
I would say vacation very quickly.
But ideally, when you're in a situation like that, the goal for you is to keep it as simple and as concise as possible so that it can be well managed. How many employees do you have, Marie? Anyway.
I have 30 employees.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's...
So you've got a lot on your plate, and you're dealing with a lot of, keeping a lot of things spinning there in your office. So my first suggestion would be to look for something that's simple, start with baby steps that makes it easy to manage, to kind of get your employees eased into the whole culture of wellness. And then if resources allow, look for a third-party vendor that could help manage that whole thing for you and take it completely off your plate.
Yeah, you're juggling a lot of balls, Marie. You've got a lot of balls in the air with that job. That's systemization is the key. If you can get the most simple systemization of each aspect of the job, it helps.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Well, it's been a pleasure and an honor to be with you this morning. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule, especially after coming off a long holiday weekend. I know that there's a lot that has to be done right off the bat, but we are open and willing to answer any questions or discuss any issues that you may have when it comes to worksite wellness or employee wellness programs. Don't hesitate to reach out to me. You see my number there. My email is garr@zemiwell.com. And feel free to visit our website. But most importantly, if you have questions, use us as a resource. We're glad to share best practices that we've learned and the experience and the knowledge that we've gained over the years in this industry. So please use us as a resource.
We just like to say we empathize with everybody out there. We're feeling the effects of all these changes as acutely as you are. We just want you to know we're all in this together, and we wish you all be well.
Thank you, Garr and David, for being with us today. And I just wanted to say thank you all for joining us on our webinar. And I'm Kathy Lewis from the City of Orem and Economic Development. And we have Nate Prescott with us. And we've tried to do our best to keep you updated on different options and support programs available to you as a business owner. And if you need more information from us, please reach out to me at the City of Orem. My phone number is 801-229-7079. We're here to help you continue to make your business successful. Thank you again for joining, and we look forward to being with you next month during our next Orem Business Alliance webinar.